thank you all for coming today. Don't think, I had one friend that came, but she had to go to a tennis match, so, but at least she came and got a book, so that's good. But the people who know me know that I'm just a crazy, rabid University of Virginia sports fan. And I can't remember missing a home football or basketball game in more than a handful of games in 44 years. My husband, Fred, was the ultimate fan. We would drive, when we lived in the 60s and 70s in Chesterfield County outside of Richmond, we would drive to Charlottesville just to listen to away games on the radio that weren't picked up in the Richmond area. So you get an idea. In fact, we drove to Charlottesville so much that I was sure that our car could get there on its own. But my husband's dream was to have a home at the home of his alma mater, the University of Virginia, and we looked for land in Charlottesville for 7 years that had views of the Blue Ridge Mountains. We finally settled for a piece of land that included a pond. And we thought that someday we would look out of our windows and see waterfowl right outside enjoying the pond. So, how many people have ever heard of Ralph Sampson? Okay. Well, in 1979, Ralph Sampson signed to play basketball. He was a 7'4" center at the University of Virginia. He was National Player of the Year.
From Harrisburg, from across the mountain.
From across the mountain. So we said, if Ralph Sampson is coming to Charlottesville, then we're going to go to Charlottesville. So we moved to Charlottesville, found jobs. I was teaching, and he was in data processing. And in 1981, when Ralph was a junior, we moved into our home on Kruger Pond. And that was when we met our first resident Canada geese. Now, I have pictures of them in the other room. I was kind of confused, but I guess they can just look at them when they go in there, or should I get them?
Yeah, I'll go get it for you. You keep talking.
Okay. The first picture I'm going to show you is the first hatch on Kruger Pond. Mabel and Max were the best parents we could imagine. They did everything the right way, and they had 6 baby goslings. And the day that they hatched, they brought them to the top of the driveway to meet us. And one of them ate out of my hand. Now, this is not when they were just a day old. This was a little bit later, but I'm going to pass it around so you can see. But I want you to notice that one is eating out of my hand. He ate out of my hand the day he hatched. He had no fear. We named him Tony. I'll let you pass it around if you like. We named him Tony after Tony Soprano. He was the alpha male. He was the first to fly, the first to eat out of my hand, the fastest flyer. And he was also, unfortunately, the most relentless fighter. And he thought Kruger Pond belonged to him. And he didn't want anybody else coming around. Okay, so that sets up what happens when Charlie comes. Now, I just brought this for fun because my husband used to say he knew I was a good teacher because I taught the geese how to do the electric slide. So this is a picture of the geese doing the electric slide.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it was in 2000 that Charlie came to our pond, and he was different from all the other geese because he couldn't fly. He had a broken wing, as she said. And I'm going to read to you the essay that shows him being introduced to the Kruger Pond bullies and Tony Soprano when he first came to Kruger Pond. The first time I laid eyes on Charlie, he was a broken down jalopy of a goose. His broken wing stuck out as he limped about trying to avoid the geese who dove and pecked at him.